Hello, my name is Mark Simpson and I give hosts just like you the tools, the tactics, the training, but most importantly, the confidence to go and increase your direct bookings. And today's a really big episode because I'm going to show you today the most simplest way of converting an OTA booking to a direct booking. And it all goes down in the email.
Having a blast, gonna get it on the Bruce Lee podcast. Bruce Lee like Bruce Lee, cause it's so hard and the T is loose leaf. Making up those rhymes, don't write it, just do it loosely. If you want my respect, you better book direct. Here are the words in the podcast, that's what comes next.
Now, I've spoken about this plenty of times before, but it's always good to have a refresh. So what happens is that when a booking comes in via an OTA, the PMS provider will automatically send out a automated email, and it's a confirmation email. And in that confirmation email, what you'll find is that it normally just gives the basic information. So in that basic information, it will say something along the lines of, Dear Mark, thank you so much for your reservation. Just to let you know that your check-in dates are X, your checkout dates are Y, and your price, your cost of your stay is X, Y, and Z. Okay, that's very standard. But what you've got the ability to do, you've got the ability to amend these. Now, this is something that we've been doing for years, and it really works very, 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 very well. And here's what you're going to do. So in that automated email, you're going to change the wording slightly. But before you do this, it's really important that you go and make these changes in your PMS and on your OTA sites as well. So let's just talk about incentives for a second. Now, when it comes to booking direct, we naturally assume and wrongly assume that the reason why a guest would maybe book direct is to save money. Now, money does play a part, but it's not the only part. What guests really want and what we want is incentives. So, for example, you look at what the Hilton, the Marriott, and these big chains do. And when you book direct with them, you get free Wi-Fi access. You can get earlier check-in time. You maybe get free breakfast, for example. So nice incentives, and people do book direct because of it. So I saw these big chains doing it, Marriott, Hilton, etc. And I thought, well, why don't we do it? Why don't small hospitality owners do it? So we started doing this. When a guest would make a booking via an OTA, we would send them an automated email. Now, what we did at the Granary is we put our check-in time as always being 1 p.m. Always has, always will, 1 p.m. We went to the OTAs and Airbnb, Booking.com, Expedia, etc. We changed our check-in time on their sites to 4 p.m. So we moved it back 3 hours. And in the email confirmation that we sent out, we put in there, Dear guest, thank you so much for your booking. Just to confirm your reservation with us, your check-in date is the 1st of April and your checkout date is the 5th of April. Total price for your stay is X. We have some very important information, check-in information about your stay. Please do read. So we've got to make sure that they read. And the first thing we'll talk about is the check-in time. If you have checked with us via directly with us, which is email, phone call, website, your check-in time is 1 p.m. If you're booked with us via a third party, and we named them, i.e. Booking.com, Airbnb, Expedia, your check-in time is 4 p.m. And we said something else, little minor, and it will be, if you would like to discuss your stay with us, here's our direct line, please call. Now, when a guest gets that email, and if you think about, what happens when you go on a drive, etc., and you come to a vacation, you don't want to be hanging around. So they hate to feel like they're being hard done by, and they want to have that incentive. And a lot of the times they don't know the benefits of booking direct. So what you would find is that guest would call you and they would say, hey, Mark, I got your email. Thank you so much. But I want to have the direct booking check-in time. So you then very simply just move them over. You say, no problem. So all you need to do, can you just please confirm to me your email address? Number one, you get their real email, which is key. And say, number two, can you just confirm to me for security your card details so I can verify you? So then you've got the card and you've got the email. Fantastic. So, Mr. Guest, all I need for you to do, just so we can switch you to this earlier check-in time, just open up Booking.com Airbnb, and you can do it with them while we're on the phone. Just hit that cancel button for me because I can't do it for you, and then I'll book you in. Now, you may be thinking, well, that sounds fantastic, but what happens to my ranking? Will Airbnb or Booking.com tell me off? No, because it's the guest that's cancelling the stay. You have not initiated it. You have not forced it. They have done it themselves. They've contacted you. An average of 38% of all bookings on Booking.com get cancelled. And they get cancelled by the guests. So the booking rates are high. And the booking cancellation policy doesn't affect your ranking in any way, shape or form. The only way that your ranking on Airbnb or Booking.com gets affected is if you cancel that stay. That is the worst of the worst. That's how you lose superhost status. That's how you lose all of the statuses. So by the guest cancelling, no, it doesn't affect you. You get the direct booking. You save on the commission cost. The guest gets the earlier check-in time. And if you even want to sweeten it slightly, you could say, oh, I'll knock off 5% off your fee as well. You don't have to, but it helps now and again. So that is one of the best ways of flipping an OTA booking to a direct booking. Doesn't work every time, but it works enough of the times for you to give it a go. And the cool thing is that once you set it up once in your automated email triggers, it's a set and forget. You don't have to keep going back to it. So that's one tip. And tomorrow, what I want to do is I want to share with you another fantastic tool to make sure that a guest will never ever book via an OTA again. So please come back tomorrow. You know how to find me. We've got the YouTube channel. We've got the Facebook page. We've got Instagram. We've got the Apple's podcast. We've got Spotify podcast. We've got Google podcasts. We've got LinkedIn. We've got TikTok. We're everywhere. Clubhouse, you name it, you can find Boostly. So please make sure you subscribe. Please make sure you follow. If you'd like to get more from Boostly, go to boostly.co.uk. I've got 7 tools and tactics and tips that you can go and get access to right now by going to there. And I shall see you tomorrow for another episode of the Boostly podcast. Thank you.
Having a blast, gonna get it on the Boostly podcast. Boostly like Bruce Lee, cause it's so hard and the T is loose leaf. Making up those rhymes, don't write it, just do it loosely.